should be live here. We should be live. Let me drop the open on the people. No, and it didn't drop. One more again.
Welcome back
Boom!
to the Hank Strange Situation.
We are live.
Yeah, make sure you subscribe, thumbs up, ring the bell so you could be notificated on very well. We have a special program for notifications where we totally notificate on you. All over you. It's awesome. There's
non-stop notifications.
If you're into that kind of thing, people love it. Elfster, you're not in the middle of the screen, so I'm just telling you. Yeah, you got to move over. Yeah, there you go. Move over a little bit more,
That's about as close to
there you go. Now you're in the screen. He's lounging. I hope you guys have your big girl panties on because we're live. Let's do jazz hands. Come on, Elfster, you got to do jazz hands. Babyface P doing jazz. He's got gun jazz hands. We are live. This is episode 454 of the Who Moved My Freedom podcast. It's entitled Guest Elfster's Rifles and Reloading 101. I didn't want to say Reloading 101 with Elfster's Rifles and Reloading. That's a lot of reloading going.
That's all right, buddy.
Yeah, I'm sure YouTube's already going to go after us just for having that.
Just for having me on your channel.
Yes, absolutely.
Sorry for you.
Yes, we've got Elfster's Rifles and Reloading here. I'm going to pop this up on the screen real quick. I'm going to show, I think I got your channel right here. I will show the people. If you want to know who we're talking about, Elfster's Rifles and Reloading, there he goes. Go up there and click on his icon. That's how you'll go to the page on YouTube. And then make sure you subscribe. This is what his page looks like. He's here. He's joining us tonight. And, of course, along with him is Babyface P. Let's see, where's Babyface?
I wish I could hear you, Hank. If
hear
you
you.
could.
You couldn't hear me there? I went out?
Hell no. I told you, every time you share screens, your audio goes out for us.
Oh,
and just
okay,
for us.
you guys. Oh, okay. Yeah.
I could still kind of make you out. But...
Yeah, I have to
okay. I got to figure out what's going on with that. Yeah. So anyway.
Hank, last time I sat down and had a serious chat with you, I think I was walking down a congested interstate with about 105 degrees temperature.
Right.
That traffic jam. And
yeah, that was I-26, right? I-26.
Yeah, we're doing that PSA event.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so we've got Elfster's. He's here. Make sure you guys go subscribe to his channel. There he goes. He's joining us. We've also got Babyface P. What's up, Babyface P?
What's up?
He's in the house. Everyone coming in, make sure you guys smash the thumbs ups, share, ask your questions right now. We are going to get into reloading here in a second. Make sure you ring the bell so you can be notified, as I said before. And, of course, the show is brought to you by Harry's Holsters, maker of fine Kydex holsters. That's the official holster of the Hank Strange situation, so to speak. That's how we're going to put it here. Yes, and we're talking about... So have you guys seen Scarface?
Oh, yeah.
Yes, a long time ago.
You've seen the Scarface movie. Remember there's a point where he was like, after he said, "Oh, let me introduce you to my little friend," then he had to reload. He's like, "Okay, I reloaded." So that's what we're talking about. That's all I know about reloading. So
come on.
That's my only joke I have.
We're going to turn you into a reloading expert, my friend.
Yeah. I told Lola I'm gonna die tonight live on air because Babyface P and Elfster, they're gonna be here talking about reloading. Yeah.
The only one thing is I can't show you how to make a complete round of ammo from start to finish on YouTube. They won't let you do that. So
do they? Oh yeah. Have you gotten hit with any cease and desists from YouTube?
No, but I purposely break up my videos into sections. So we're like, one section will be like brass organization decapping. The second part will be like cleaning and brass drying. The third part will be kneeling and wiring.
So your way around it is one thing at a time, so it's not a whole video about
it. I'm not specifically showing you how to make a complete round of ammo from start to finish. So.
Yeah. Well, so that way, if that particular video gets smacked upside the head, then all the other videos don't get
Maybe Hank can show that on my playlist. I kind of described that. I have a playlist on there. It's a 9-part playlist, and it's broke up into sections like that. And it starts with, the first part, brass organization decapping, second part cleaning, brass drying, third part of kneeling, swaging. And the very last part, I actually take that reloaded ammunition out to the range with my viewers on video, and they can actually watch that reloaded ammunition impact paper.
I'm throwing that up on the screen right now if you guys can hear me.
But
Whether or not you guys can hear me.
If I physically show you how to make a round of ammunition, that could get me in trouble with a good old wifey. So
hilariously funny that if you break it up into sections, it's not a big deal.
Yeah.
I wonder if that's why I never got any crap about my AK build series. It's because I didn't show you how to build a whole AK from 1 to none.
And it's just like that with, showing someone how to put a lower together. You can't do that either. Heck, you can't even show someone how to install a trigger. And it's kind of a sad state of affairs when we can't even do something simple like that.
It's almost like it's a violation of the Constitution. Maybe someone should impeach these mofos.
Here we go.
Don't get all Hank started on it.
Yeah, now we gotta start talking impeachment.
All right,
listen. Did you see today that she was like, well, yeah, I actually didn't even read the transcript, so well, I'm just gonna impeach anyways.
Yeah.
Well, it's just nonstop impeachment. It's not a point of actually, you got 3 branches of government for a reason, checks and balance, and this has nothing to do with checks and balances. It's just how much of an annoyance can we be for Trump, and that's about it. So,
it's a vendetta for Hillary not getting elected.
Yeah, it is, and I kind of cringe about this next election cycle because no matter what happens, whether Trump wins or whoever, Biden, if he wins, either side is
Biden is actually going. Yeah, Biden's going down in the polls. So listen, okay, before we're going to get into the reloading stuff. If you guys have questions, you can ask us. We've got Elfsters here, Rifles and Reloading on YouTube. Elfsters, Rifles and Reloading. Of course, we've got Babyface P also on YouTube. I encourage you guys to go subscribe to their channel. Yeah, let's talk about the big news, which is what we're in the middle of for everyone. Shout out to everyone out there. Please smash the thumbs ups, guys, as you're coming in here. Do the thumbs ups things. I have a feeling we're gonna need the thumbs ups. As many thumbs as you guys could possibly give out there, we'll take it. Go ahead, Babyface. What are you gonna say?
Who does I can't think of the website. Name of the website that John Crump writes for.
Ammoland.
Ammoland. Thank you.
Yes. So So we've got this crazy impeachment nonsense going on. The transcripts got put out. Did anyone look at the transcripts? Does anyone understand that? Does anyone care?
Wait, they actually posted the transcript?
Yeah, they did. I didn't see the actual transcript, but it is out. So news media outlets are going over it right now.
How did that get unclassified so quickly? That seems like something that shouldn't be. Maybe I'm just paranoid that the president's inner words should not be given to.
No, he put it out. So
he did. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, Trump's kind of twisting this around. He's kind of playing it a little bit, and he's trying to put it on Biden's son now. So he's kind of, he's kind of shifting that good old eye of Sauron back on Biden and his son. I think. Yeah. With this deal with companies overseas,
because they're all dirty.
Money to them.
If you don't think that they're all dirty, then you're insane.
Well, that particular deal where he, for a couple of years, I think like 4 or 5 years, was getting paid $80,000 a month. What's wrong with asking about that?
I want $80,000 a month.
Whoo, yeah.
One day for all of us.
That's
for all
serious
of us. By the time we get there, there'll be crazy inflation. It will cost you about $80,000 to get a gallon of milk.
I would have to do a lot of reloading videos to get $80,000 a month.
Michael Bender says Hank and Nancy both didn't read the transcripts.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I didn't have time to read I was trying to find the whole thing, and I was like, I don't know who wants to get.
Well, Hank, it's just like these bills they try to pass through. They don't read those either. I mean, they're like a Bible thick. No one really reads the damn things.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's just nothing.
We need to pass it so we can find out what's in it.
Yeah.
Anybody remember that one?
Yeah, absolutely. That was the healthcare thing. Let me see. I don't know if anyone needs shout outs. We should probably let me see. I'm gonna do some shout outs real quick here. But I'm gonna ask everyone once again to smash the thumbs ups. Make sure that you've hit the thumbs ups out there. Chris Williams, Michael Bender, Let's see who else we got here. Jade Grew, The Archangel. Let me know if you see anyone, babyface. Randy Peacock. I think I said Chris Bullis. DCG44, SoCal Gunner, Special K. See, I forget things really fast if you haven't noticed that. So I don't know if any of your people are coming in, Elfster. Just let us. By the way, can we call you Elfster, or you want us to call you something else?
No, you can call me Elfster. That's fine.
Okay.
My name's Todd Elfers, if your viewers are unfamiliar with me and my channel.
Yeah.
But Elfster's totally fine. That's just my nickname that I kind of started on Sniper's Hide, and it's kind of stuck. So.
Okay. You are a Todd. And you're coming from where?
I'm from Eau Claire, Wisconsin.
Wisconsin. I mean, I don't know.
I can hear it now.
Yeah, you know.
Yeah.
How did we miss?
Yeah.
How did we miss that one?
Yeah.
He said facetiously.
Yeah.
Like we didn't know. I didn't want to just assume.
Yeah. You don't want to live up here. Trust me. Middle of winter, you're no joke shoveling snow off the top of your roof.
No thanks.
Florida, it's nice and balmy right now.
Yeah. Yeah. In the middle of winter, I want to just be like 32 degrees for like 2 hours in the morning. That's it. That's all I need. Shout out to the Tyven Show is out there. Let's see who else we got. Who do we got? Kermit Loves Bacon, Uncle Mike, Bricks. Boss Hog is out there. Michael Avens, Judd Miller, and E-Rock, Razor JB. Razor JB said, "Notify on me, please." He's into the S&M stuff, obviously. Razor JB.
Okay.
I mean, you could tell. You could just tell. You know, he knows exactly what we're talking about. David Cardinal also out there. Let's see who else. J Loafers, YNH, Eli EDC, Stephen Hyatt, Joe 259 DTA The Pants, Jason St. Pierre, John Parson, Jeff Allen. Opt out of gun control. I see opt out of gun control. Flopping Garbage is out there. Ray Bazzolo says, I missed you guys. Where was Ray Bazzolo?
I don't know.
Glock,
you should ask him.
Yeah, Glock Fun 101. Tell us where you were at, Ray. LV Louis Cypher's out there coming in from Vegas. Jeff Allen. Let's see who else. Vanessa Kitty. Vanessa Kitty's out there. Shout out to Vanessa Kitty. Let's see who else we've got here. I'm just trying to make sure I'm not missing anyone before. Oh, Dude Abides also out there. Shout out to Dude Abides. And I'm Not Will Rogers as well. Everyone's smashing the thumbs ups. Let's get those going. Let's see. Ronald Hot Boy also out there. Ashley from Gunstreamer. Shout out to Ashley from Gunstreamer. All right, so cool. Any other new stuff going on that you guys like? Tell me what happened. Like, Todd, you tell me something that's in the news right now that you're paying attention to. I know some people, there's some hearings going on in Congress about gun control.
It's just that stupid impeachment and Pelosi. It's never ending. And and for her, it doesn't matter what it is. She's just going to be relentless, whether it's this or whatever, you know. And I don't know. It's just a sad state of affairs that we just can't get along. And no matter what Trump does, she's going to make up some excuse to have this relentless impeachment where it's not a point of whether what he did was right or wrong. It's just a point of just attacking him relentless, and that's about it.
Yeah. You know? Why do the Democrats think that this impeachment stuff is actually going to help them? Why do they believe that?
Well, you know, the thing is I kind of hope they keep it up, because I think it's just going to prove to the general American population that they can try it and make Trump look somewhat normal, and they're skewing so much to the left that Biden almost looks, sane.
Yeah.
And
I think he's dropping in the polls. I think Elizabeth Warren just clicked over him, but I know that I saw they did some polling, and Americans don't want impeachment.
Yeah.
So Americans are like, what the hell is going on? But yet, and I don't think Nancy Pelosi wanted it either, but I think the left wing of the left wing, the zing wing of the left wing, we should say, the AOCites, those guys are pushing for it.
Ben Shapiro about it, and he was saying he didn't break any laws. He didn't. It'd be one thing if he made some promises and would funnel some, money to them that were from the taxpayers. Then yes, that would be impeachable.
Mm-hmm.
But the way Ben Shapiro was kind of explaining it, he was saying he didn't really break the law, and that might come out, but I don't think so. I mean, they released that transcript, right?
Yeah, but I don't care. Like, for me personally, I don't care if the president is talking to the president of another country and says, "Hey, what's up with that corruption going on over there?" That doesn't, should we now go back through Obama's transcripts of all his phone calls?
Oh yeah.
Should we go back to like Bush through his phone calls, and then through Clinton? I don't know if I don't know if all that's. I don't really think, and I think people in America don't. They don't really see what's wrong.
I think people are just sick of it in general. Well, you guys, but I'm like, I don't care. I mean, obviously, if it's something that is impeachable, let's take care of it. I don't care if you're Republican or Democrat. Yeah, impeach the guy if it's something serious. But it's just like Kavanaugh. They will go through history back to your high school days and dig up something. I don't care who you are. You're going to have some dirt. Everyone has some dirt. I don't care who you are. And that's what they'll do. And it's just relentless.
Yeah. Now, the one good thing I think maybe, I don't know, it's like a temporary good thing, is that this is probably slowing down whatever gun control that they were hoping to push through with Trump, which shows like how stupid their strategy is.
No, see, the problem is, in my mind, it's also multifaceted that doing this does not slow down anything else. Like there's so many people, like the committees that are pushing through gun control have nothing to do with any of this. This is just a great distraction for everybody. It gets everybody riled up.
Oh, so you think that they're trying to do this, and meanwhile the committees are still pushing through gun control stuff, and the next thing we know, that's going to land on Trump's desk and he's going to sign it?
He's not going to. Well, I'm not going to say he's not going to sign it because there's always a chance.
No.
Yeah.
But
I mean, unless if they have something on him and they're pressuring him, or they're using his leverage.
There's going to be no assault weapon ban. There's going to be no magazine ban. They might get some red flag stuff, maybe.
I think red flag and universal background is going to be pushed very, very, very hard.
Yeah.
I hope and pray that it doesn't make it through. But if people out there are not contacting the representatives all the time, then it will go through.
Yeah.
And I can't stress that enough. You guys got to be contacting your officials and
call. Write a letter. Write an old-fashioned letter.
Call. Yes, exactly.
Yeah. And
join that Gun Owners of America. I mean, everyone I know is a little fishy right now on an NRA, but I can't stress this enough. Log into that Gun Owners of America, and they even have links on there that are the forms filled out for you. You just got to fill out your information and send it off.
Yeah.
And I think they even actually have something up on there right now.
Yeah. So here's something I'm going to throw up on the screen here. Rob Pincus on NRA and 2A rally in D.C. on 11/2/19. So there's a Second Amendment rally planned November 2nd in Washington, D.C. This is on AmmoLand.
Did you see his article a couple weeks ago about being the only person showing up to the NRA meeting, the board of directors meeting?
Yeah.
And then not being allowed to sit in on it?
Yeah, I believe that. Yeah, that's how they get down. So anyway, Rob's doing this. Let me see. He says grassroots Second Amendment activists from across the country are being urged to attend a Second Amendment rally on Saturday, November 2nd at the Capitol Building in Washington, D.C., where they hope to deliver a message that the right to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. Let me see. I'll put this link. See if I could post this link for people. I'll put it in the chat here. If you guys, I'll put it in our internal thing if you all want to see this. We probably need to spread this around. This is an AmmoLand article. I'm sure you can find it on quite a few places if you're into that.
Dave Workman. Man, you guys go down and look at the picture of Dave Workman. That picture hasn't been updated since 1972.
Ooh! Oh, hold on. Let me see. Just so we can get in trouble here with the AmmoLand crew.
Dave Workman, you need to come on, man. Go take a new picture.
How do we know that's real, man? How do you know that's probably not real?
The photo that every website has a photo of their journalists.
Yeah, but that's not a real photo right there. That's
look at it.
Dave does not look like that.
He went shooting with his buddies in '76, and that's the last time he took a picture.
Yeah. All right, Dave. If you need to rebut any of this, let us know. But that is that's true. Babyface has a point there. Yeah. That's what you're focusing on, though. Thanks a lot, Babyface. Yeah. So anyway, there's a good article here on Rob Pincus. Rob looks good. I can say that much. But he always looks good, man. That's one thing he doesn't enjoy. He's got several suits in his closet, obviously, man. That's a massive difference. I do not believe in suits. Pincus?
We know.
Yeah.
I don't know if I can
anti-suit.
envision you in like a three-piece suit, man.
No
suits.
way.
Not a
No
fan.
way.
Not a fan of suits.
Would you be rocking a hat or something?
Actually, so a long time ago, I was a doorman on the Upper East Side of Manhattan, and I had to wear like a suit, and I had a hat, and a coat, a tie, all kinds of like
I
Did
can
you
see
have
you
the
using
mohawk
that.
at the time?
No, oh no.
Hey, well, that was not allowed. No way.
No,
They'd
no.
fire you on the spot.
Well, I had to wear a hat. I had like a doorman's hat and all that kind of stuff. So that really cured me of ever in my life
Did
wanting
you keep
to
the
have
suit for sentimental value?
Hell no. And let me tell you how I got the suit is the reason actually why I got the job. I'll tell you. So there was another guy who was working there as the doorman, and I believe he was from like Panama or something like that. And he got hurt on the job, and he took like whatever what's the benefits like when you get hurt on the job, there's workers comp or whatever. Yeah, he took workers comp and went back to Panama and started balling out.
Of course.
So, but they had this suit made for him. So I went there to get actually a different job at that hospital. I think I was going into housekeeping or something. But then so the people in that department heard that he was a young black guy. So then they heard there was a different young black guy who might fit his size, and then they brought me in for the interview, and they were like, "Put this suit on." I put it on. They were like, "You're hired." And that was my job.
I can't envision you saying like nipple pillow. Oh,
No.
Skeever.
So yeah. Yes, I've done a lot of different jobs, believe it or not. So I wound up doing the doorman thing in Manhattan, man, and it wasn't bad. It wasn't bad. I had to help people get out of cabs, help people get cabs.
How long you been at this now, Hank? For making videos in your channel.
This particular thing going on 7 years.
Dang.
All right.
7 years. Yeah, we're approaching 7 years on this craziness right now. So I think when I go to SHOT Show in January, that'll be the 7th SHOT Show.
Wow.
So there you go. Vanessa Kitty says, I lived next to Yankee Stadium for a time. Okay, cool. Yeah. Been up there, Yankee Stadium. No, that area, that part of Yankee Stadium area, not necessarily the best neighborhood. You go up there, people have tall walls. Yeah, that when you see people have the crushed bottles on their walls and their windows are barred, that's how you know. That's how you know where you're at. So okay, I don't even know how we got into that. I don't even know. There's definitely Second Amendment stuff going on, though, that we have to keep an eye on. So I'm just going to warn everyone out there. Keep an eye on it. We're waiting to see what happens. There was another article from Ammo Land. Let me see if I can put this one. And if everyone's going to hear me, ATF Director nominee Canterbury supports red flag confiscation orders.
Of course he does.
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah.
Does that surprise anybody? We all know he's anti-gun.
Yeah.
Look at most of your,
Yeah.
I don't want to say chiefs of police, but most of the people that run the police unions and things like that, they're all extremely liberal.
Oh, you just put it in a major city, and that's pretty much all
Yeah.
you need to know.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Trump's
There's
getting
no-
a lot
there's
of
no
anti-gun
connection.
people like Barr. I'm not a fan of Barr either.
No connection with the rural America at all.
Mm-hmm.
No.
No.
Yeah. Yeah.
So did he actually get approved yet?
I think that's all happening right now. So now the same people are at the ATF that Obama put in there, right? So I guess Trump gets to put people in at the ATF, but he's going to put in anti-gun people. Whatever. I'm not a fan of that. Kiaski says, wants to know what advice would I give to my past self from 7 years ago. One simple advice: buy Netflix stock.
Or Amazon.
Yeah.
7 years ago?
No, 7 years. Maybe you have to go
ago.
back. Like, let me see. When did Netflix actually first go on the stock market? I think it was longer than 7 years.
Actually, went in your videos there, Hank, and checked out one of your older videos. You were
Mm-hmm.
interviewing Walter. I think it was like something like a 50 BMG AR upper or something like that. Do you remember that?
How long ago was that? That was way back.
5-6 years ago.
Okay.
I'm like, man, you don't even look the same.
Yeah, that's when I first met Walter. Actually,
Yeah.
that's the first time we met. Which I met him through Peter Palmer of Top Shot. If you ever looked at the Top Shot reality show, you ever saw that? Yeah, the first season, my friend Peter Palmer, he was on that show.
So I take it Walter lives close by.
No, close by. Yeah,
It's
like
2
3
hours.
hours.
2 hours. It's not that bad.
You guys go shooting together and stuff.
He comes to he comes to our neck of the woods to go shooting. Sometimes I go up there. Actually, on Friday I'm going to be up there, so there's no show on Friday, people. In case I forget,
just drop that bomb like that.
Boom! It's all.
All right, so when you
all
got the day
Elfster's
off
fault.
and you're not making videos, where do you usually go shooting? I'm just curious. When you just want to chill out and just actually enjoy shooting your firearms.
There is no such thing.
He doesn't actually do that.
Yeah, if I'm shooting something, we're making videos.
Yeah. Hey, I just checked out, what was it, Mr. Guns and Gears video. You guys were out in Mount Zion there. You're doing some like ranger rappelling stuff off canyon walls or something like that.
Yes. I have to work on my videos from that and also from when I was hanging out with you. I haven't got today. I was trying to like clean up my hard drives before I started that editing. But yeah, I haven't gotten any of that stuff up, including what we did. But yeah,
looks like you guys were having a good time out there, though.
it was cool. Yeah. I
mean, were you afraid when you guys were rappelling down that canyon?
Yes, it's pretty scary. When we did the 75-foot one, yes, for sure.
Oh,
the other ones that were like, maybe 10 feet, I was like, I could survive this.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we were high up there in the thing that scares me the most is looking at Lola. Because Lola was out there trying to do selfies, and we're standing on ledges that if you fall over, yeah. And I'm trying to tell her, chill out with the selfies, and she was like, she was just laughing at me. So that gave me the most anxiety. The toughest thing was I just thought, man, I hope I actually survive this and don't get a heart attack right here.
Man, talk about some beautiful country, though. Man, holy smokes, those are some serious views.
Yeah.
Were you guys out there for 2 days?
A couple of days, probably 2-3 days, something like that. Yeah. Guns and Gear actually has a pretty good video on it. Here's the toughest part, right? Anytime you're doing something like this that has to do with a lot of strenuous physical activity, you don't want to pick to be in the same group with Guns and Gear.
Yeah.
Because you're gonna be embarrassed.
Yeah. He doesn't screw around, man. He definitely works out.
Yeah, man. Yeah. He had zero issues. He knew how to do all that stuff. He knew how to rappel. All of that. I
missed you on the last day of the PSA event. I'm like, where the heck's Hank? The next thing I see this video of you rappelling off cliff edges with Mr. Guns and Gear. So
yeah. It was fun though. It was fun, and I'm glad he was there taking pictures because it was so. I was like, I'm not taking pictures of this craziness. So they should have someone out there going with you. I do have some pictures. I'll throw up some stuff. I'll make a video of that for sure.
Well, I'm looking forward to those videos, man. Especially your PSA videos. Yeah. I got most of those PSA videos up now, so I got three or 4 part series on that.
You're way ahead of me. Now here's something that I know Babyface is very jealous of. Boom.
I don't know what you're talking about. I don't see anything.
I'm gonna show these right now. There goes my 1 mile.
I haven't seen the video. Club. It never happened.
Oh, I have video. Trust me.
I haven't seen it. Didn't happen.
I have video on this that you will see going up there. So, boom, there you go. What's your number on there?
36.
Oh, okay. Not that it matters, but I'm 19, so.
Yeah, whatever. Good for you, Hank.
So that was fun. I'm gonna throw up. Did you get video of when you hit the mile?
Yeah, it's in part 1 of my 4-part series when we were out there. What was the first part? We were in. We were doing the shoot at the Clinton. Was it the Clinton House Plantation?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, we had the first part. We were shooting PCCs, 9mm, the PSA AKV. We had 9mm AR pistols. Second part was Lead Star.
Yeah, AKV. Oh my, babyface. You got to get an AKV, man.
I would love to get one.
Oh, wait, hold on a second. Does Elfsters have one? Is that what we're going? Is this boom? Oh, those things are nice. They're actually pretty nice.
Yeah, we're rocking the Romeo 5 red dot. And it's a little sewing machine, man. I mean, the fact that it comes with an SBA3 brace, tanker style muzzle brake. I actually do like these Magpul handguards. I shot that Lead Star, the AKP.
The light. Okay.
And man, that metal handguard, man, after
it gets hot.
100 rounds, you couldn't even hold the thing.
Yeah, it gets very hot.
That was fun. That was a good time.
Yeah. So
if anyone out there wants to check out those videos, I got them all posted there. I actually got a playlist of it. And it was a really fun time out there, especially shooting at a mile.
Yeah, Elfster is all organized with the playlists and everything. I remember when I first started doing this, I used to.
Yeah. Now you just do podcasts. You don't even have to edit it, man.
No, I still have a lot of editing to do, man. It's just so much stuff to get up there. But listen, I'm going to tell you something. I'm not going to say that the AKV is as badass as an MP5, but I think it comes really, really, really close.
Well,
I'm going to say it's like 85% there, Patrick.
You're pushing it right there.
I'm telling you, man. Did you ever shoot one?
Blowback is never as cool as roller delayed blowback. Yeah. I'm just throwing that out there.
You're a big CMMG fan, huh?
Roller delayed. Well, no, CMMG does that. What, the tilting delayed blowback or whatever the fuck it's called? No, roller delayed, the MP5 action.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
really
really
waiting for the PSA 5.
Yeah.
Oh, I've been waiting for one since they teased it 2 years ago.
Yeah. I'll tell you, I like that AKV. I have a Scorpion. I like the AKV better than my Scorpion. I'm not saying, like I said, the MP5 is definitely better, but the AKV is like 85, 90%.
See, the thing is, we need an AKV full auto, because then you can really compare the two.
Oh my goodness.
Because, subguns are made to be full auto. They are not made to be semi. They are made to run.
At least double, triple tap. So.
Oh God, yeah.
Yeah, throw Franklin Armory. In that bad boy. You know what? Franklin Armory needs to make some kind of deal with PSA, where
put their triggers in.
Yeah. That would be cool. That I really do like that gun. I'm not kidding. I'm trying to get my hands on one. The T&E one is like I guess I'm way behind on the list on the T&E one.
Well, everyone's like, I can't get my hands on a PSA AKV. Literally, all you got to do is just log in on their website weekdays at 3 p.m. Central Time, and they're always on there. There's no reason why you can't. Matter of fact, they just released a bunch with triangle-shaped...
the triangle ones are the joint.
Yeah, triangle-shaped buttstocks on them, especially on their AKPs. They just released a whole batch of them. So
today?
You can definitely get... Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Actually, yesterday they did.
Yesterday? Okay. I don't know if they're there. If someone take a look and see if they're there.
Well, they sell out within
they go fast.
If you're not ready at 3 p.m. Central, you're not going to get them. So.
Yeah. Whenever we see, I know Lola posts deals and stuff like that on.
Oh man, they do have the side folding braces.
Yeah.
I heard that triangle one is pretty badass.
If I were making another crank, I would have one of these on it. I wouldn't SBR it. I would just do the side folding brace.
And after touring that PSA Dunbar facility where they actually assemble them, it makes sense now. You actually went through the plant and you actually see them assemble the AKV, the AKP, and they're making about 50 of them every weekday, and the second they're done, they're pushed over and they're put online, and that's what they sell. And like they mentioned, if they could make 1,000 of them a day, they probably sell the damn thing.
Oh, they're never in stock. They're just they hit the shelf and they're gone. I guarantee. They don't have a warehouse full of them. They're just as soon as they hit shelves, they're gone.
Those things
are
awesome.
You, another one that I have is the FM9. It's a Foxtrot mic. Man, this thing is an absolute laser. Matter of fact, it's even side charging.
Oh,
that's
nice. Nice.
Yeah.
That's a nice
So,
yeah.
and you
feature.
can get these for next to nothing. They sell them on Barnauls Primary Arms. You can get the upper and lower fully ambidextrous
What's the company
controls.
of that again?
FM9, so it's Foxtrot Mike.
Oh, Foxtrot.
So,
Okay, I need to.
Yeah.
I need to look
you should
into
check
that.
those out, man, because
Yeah.
you can get right now that promo code.
Mm-hmm.
The FM9 upper and lower. This has got a 10.5-inch barrel tri-lug, easy to put on a suppressor.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Ships
I actually
$700.
just got some tri-lug adapters from Liberty that I'm dying to put on some stuff.
Some? How many did you get? Do you know how? Have I told you how hard it was for me to actually get one of them?
I got a couple.
Liberty, for a long time, Liberty stopped making their own, and Gym Tech uses the same mount. So I tried for probably 6 or 8 months to find one from Gym Tech, because then Gym Tech stopped making it, and Liberty wasn't making them, and impossible to find.
I think Liberty
Finally
just made a
tried that out.
batch because I got a couple.
Oh, they're awesome. That's my Mystic. That's how I attach it to my 9 SBR.
The tri-lug. Yeah.
So
the problem-
Babyface, if you could only pick one PCC 9mm, what would it be?
Oh.
One pistol caliber.
That'd
It'd
be
be
available.
available.
Right.
Okay,
MP5,
it could be any one, right? It doesn't have to be one that you actually have. Yeah, MP5. I would say
MP5
MP5
is
too.
amazing,
Mhm.
especially
I'll tell
full
you-
auto.
Don't ask the PSA reps when that's coming out.
They're never. Yeah.
they will flip their shit.
Yeah. Kiaski has something that I got to mention this because I'm jealous. Kiaski says, I like my Zenith MP5. Congratulations to you, Kiaski.
They're good. Walter's, the full auto ones we shoot are Zeniths.
Yeah.
How much are those going for now, the Zenith?
15, 14?
Yeah. Kiaski, I will trade one of my mile things for your Zenith.
I'll kick in a sticker.
Yes, there you go. A sticker, one of those. I'll even throw in a Hank Strange patch. Do you think he's gonna go for that, Patrick?
Mike,
Listen, I will even throw in.
Oh my gosh, I'll do whatever it takes
Trump
for that.
rooster. You know what? We gotta find out from Walter if he has any of these Trump roosters left, Patrick.
I
Do you
don't
know?
think he does. Those were a one and done sort of thing.
I'll see if I can. I'll see if I can get you one, Elfster. We'll find out. Yeah, but the MP5, man, that's like a dream gun.
Full auto though. It's got to be full auto.
Full auto. Yeah. Okay, you're gonna you know full auto. We're gonna have to like upgrade the FFL.
I'm just gonna make enough money where I can buy one and own it
I'll
myself.
just own it. Okay.
35,000.
You win the lottery. That's the first thing you're doing.
First thing I'm buying is an MP5. Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's not even a question.
Yeah. Simpson Road Larry says Foxtrot Mike's FM9 is awesome, and now they have the FM45. Oh, really? Okay. I got. And this is okay. I gotta check into.
Check
this.
them out.
I need a new barrel. My So the last time we were at your house, Hank, I blew the barrel out of mine.
Really?
Well, no, what happened, and I haven't taken it apart because I just haven't wanted to.
Oh,
but
okay.
We had a out of battery. It blew up out of battery, and it's only 9 mil, so it's not like it was catastrophic.
Oh,
but
I
then
thought that was
in
a suppressor that you blew up. Okay.
No, I looked in the chamber, and we had like knocked out the chamber on the 9 mil barrel, so I'm gonna have to
50
buy
yards.
another.
So that's the FM9 at 50 yards, you know,
Okay.
and I just testing out ammunition, and
Okay.
you know, it's pretty impressive for a 9mm for shot
Yeah.
consecutively.
Yeah. What's the barrel length?
That
10?
one has a 10.5-inch tri-lug.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Okay, that's pretty good.
they're pretty impressive. I'm really happy with it. So
Yeah. Okay, so now here comes the part that Babyface is waiting for. We should probably get into some reloading.
Oh God,
Let's get into the reloading stuff. And as Elfster has said, he can't show you the whole process, so we're not doing that. But you're gonna do a one-on-one thing, right? So Babyface, I'm gonna let these two take over. Actually.
I'll show you my
I'll be
whole
here.
process. It's all on Pornhub.com/.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
I think what I would do, Hank, if you could bring up that playlist, that start to finish playlist, we could probably break it down one section at a time.
Okay,
So we're
hold on.
jumping all over the place. So
All right, I
can
have
try
that
and-
up on screen right now.
God. Trying to give everybody a walkthrough of how to reload in 20 minutes.
Yeah, no kidding.
Oh
yeah.
Lord.
Yeah.
Because there's so much that goes in. Okay, so here's the first question. Somebody wants to get into reloading, and I have a strong opinion on this one. Single stage or multi-stage? Like a Dylan,
right.
pick up a Dylan.
Yeah, if you want the ultimate precision, you're definitely going to want to go single stage. If I had to recommend a good single stage, I'd probably do the Redding turret press. But, just a standard rock chucker, RCBS rock chucker. If you want just something standard entry level, that's plenty fine. I use a progressive press, and I actually take the progressive nature out of it. And I do, if I'm reloading for precision AR ammunition, I will take the progressive nature out of it, and I will turn it into somewhat of a single stage press. And you could totally do that. And I have the Hornady lock and load. If I was to start over from scratch, though, I'd probably get something like a Dylan. Matter of fact, Dylan just came out with their 750 progressive press. And I think 100% you can reload precision ammunition on progressive press. And if you want straight up spray and pray ammo, you want to pump out, shit's hitting the fan, you want to pump out as much ammo as possible. The king is the Dylan 1050 with an ammo bot.
One day I'll have something like that.
That is the ticket right there. If you want the best of the best, and it's going to be the Dylan 1050 with an ammo bot. But I like my Hornady progressive press. It's served this purpose. But yeah, if you want the absolute truest precision with the least amount of run out on your ammunition, you're definitely going to want to get a single stage press. So
yeah, I'm of the opinion that start with a single stage. Learn slowly through doing a single stage, learn everything piece by piece and get good at it. Mm-hmm. And then once you move up to a progressive, all it does is make everything faster, but you're more likely to break something or blow yourself up. So and then for me, like loading the 32 ACP, a single stage, you're never going to want to sell your single stage because there's always a reason you're going to go, I want to work up a load. I'll work up a load on single stage. It's so much better than trying to work up a load on a progressive press.
Yeah. I mean, if you are reloading pistol, if you ever think you're potentially going to reload pistol, I would beeline it to progressive press personally.
Oh man, if you're if you're shooting a lot, do a progressive all the way.
Yeah.
9mm, start out with 9mm and just load it up because you can go as fast as you pull that handle.
But if you're going for the most ultimate precision, bottlenecked rifle casing. Yes, you're probably just going to want to stick with a single stage. So
yeah.
But usually when I'm reloading, the first step would be something like brass organization. I'll organize my brass by the amount of fires on the brass. And actually down here, if you guys can see it, I got all my. For example, this is my 5.56 or 223 brass. I probably got 4,000 pieces in there.
That's my problem right now is I have so much brass sitting around that like when I first met Hank, I was super excited about like sweeping the range. I was like, oh man, I can go sweep the range and just have brass for days. I have so much brass at this point that I'm just like, what the fuck am I gonna do with all this?
And range pick brass is good. You just got to be careful with range pick brass because you don't know how many fires are on that brass.
Yeah,
it could be a guy reloading like myself, and when I know that brass is at the end of its life expectancy, I will just let it sit there on the ground, and you do not know the fact that piece of brass has 8 fires on it, and it's probably impending case head separation. You need to be really careful with that when you're picking up range pick brass. And one good idea, if you want to know if it's been it's been fired before reloaded, or if it's factory ammunition that's true once fired range pick brass, is pick up and look at that primer. If the primer has primer seal on it, that's a good indication that it's been only fired once. So,
okay, let me just jump in here real quick. Shout out to BWE Firearms, by the way. I see him out there. Also, let me ask everyone to smash the thumbs ups. We have over 100 people watching, so there's no reason why we can't get up to 100 thumbs ups. And then one question. I know there's questions coming in. You guys load those. I'll be looking at all the questions so I can get those in. So let me ask this. For reloading, is it for everything, like for every round you shoot, or is it just for the special rounds, like how Babyface is showing the 32 ACP? What do you guys think about that?
Well, right now, pistol ammunition is so darn cheap that, I mean, I do progressively reload pistol ammunition, but for me personally, it's more about precision ammunition. And I've always said this before, you reload because you want to get the most out of your firearm. You don't reload because you want to save money. You really have to have a passion for it.
That's the thing. Never get into it thinking you're going to save money. You will not save money.
You get into it to save money, you will get burned out, and don't even attempt.
You're not going to save money. You're going to shoot 3 times as much because you're going to spend the same amount of money. It's just going to happen.
Yeah.
So don't think you're going to save money. You're going to spend the same $200 a month on ammo, whatever. You just get 3 times the ammo out of it.
And you're going for the most absolute precision. And usually for me, it boils down to doing like load development. I'm playing with barrel harmonics. I'm playing with powder drops, different amounts of powder drops to play with the barrel harmonics and what stabilizes that bullet the best. I'm also playing with things like bullet jumps, and also playing with headspace to make sure that brass seals off in that chamber as fast as possible, so there's no pressure leakage and you get consistent velocities.
Okay.
Because if one piece of ammo has a higher velocity than the next, because you're using brass case ammunition compared to steel case ammunition, or you drop too much powder on one piece of brass compared to the next, that one bullet is going to impact paper higher. There's so many things that go into it when it comes to precision reloading, and it's really important.
So how many different rounds are you reloading, Elfster?
So right now, for pistol, I do 9mm, 40 Smith & Wesson, 45 ACP. On the rifle side, I do 223 or 5.56, 243, 7.62 by 51 or 308, 6.5 Creedmoor. And my friend just got into 338 Lapua. I've been on his coattails a little bit. But a lot of guys buy a 338 Lapua, it's super exciting, but they don't realize the fact that every time you pull that trigger, it's about $4 or $5 a pull. So, and that's even with reloading. So, or other firearms like 458 Solcoms or 50 Beowulfs, you really got to look at the aspect of how much the ammunition costs or how much it costs to reload it, just not how exciting that firearm is going to be to shoot. So
yeah. Patrick, how about you? What are you reloading?
I'm set up to reload 945, 38, 357. I mostly just do 357 for the Python. Now I have the dies for the 32 ACP, and then rifle. I think that's all the pistol I have.
Do you do rifle, 300 blackout?
Yeah, I have 300 black. I got crazy into 300 black because it was expensive, and I did. And this was before I met you, or before you had the ammo contract sponsor.
Right. Yes. Let me.
Fort Scott. Before I got spoiled with Fort Scott stuff. I have a mold and I cast 300 black and load it, and it's stupid quiet. But raw on the rifle side, I'm set up for 223, 556, 308. What else? Rifle 300 blackout. Is that it?
This is a lot.
I could take. I should take you downstairs. I should jump on.
I mean, I thought Elfster was going to have more than you.
No, I reloaded.
And you're still going.
before I got, again, before you got the contract or the sponsorship, I reloaded pretty much everything. Mm-hmm. I wish I could reload 54539, but that's never going to happen.
Yeah.
No.
Why is that? Why is the 545 stuff?
Nobody makes dies. Nobody makes brass. Nobody makes bullets.
Oh, wow.
Well, the thing is, you
cheap.
can buy that so cheap right now. So
it's just the problem is it used to be even cheaper. So now when I look at the prices here, it's like, ugh. But
that's why I have firearms like this, and also like my PSA KS-47 that shoots super cheap steel case ammunition at 7.62 by 39. I could buy 1,000 rounds of that shipped from Barnauls for $185. That's something I don't have to reload for, and I actually enjoy that sometimes. So
So for me, it's gotten to the point that since I can go and steal from Hank's ammo supply, I've gotten now to where I have reloaded. I only reload kind of odd things like 32, like this project for 32 ACP that I have working on. 357, I enjoy reloading 357 Magnum because so when you buy 357 mag off the shelf, especially self-defense rounds, typically those powders have what are called flash inhibitors in them, so they don't put out a big flash. I don't like using powders with flash inhibitors because I like the fireball. So like I'll reload 357 that spits a fireball just because it's hilarious to me.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
yeah, I reload some of the more weird things now, especially when you're talking price. 357 is stupid expensive. 32 ACP should be no more than like 5 cents a shot, but it costs 50 cents a shot. So that's why this has been a good project.
Oh, okay.
45 is just too expensive as well. 45 you can reload for like 20 cents. And they charge 50 at big box, so
Yeah, let's try to let me try to just run down the line here and get some questions in for people. David Cardinal says, "Can 9mm be loaded for less than 16 cents a round?" So far, I'm only interested in reloading rifle and revolver in single stage.
If you cast your own bullets, pretty much.
if you cast, get out
and you
about
pick up range pick brass.
yeah,
And the nice thing about pistol brass is the straight wall case. It's not a bottleneck rifle cartridge. And your typical pistol brass, you can, I wouldn't say load that brass indefinitely, but it has an exponential amount of reloads above and beyond bottleneck rifle cartridges.
you can go, yeah.
So for
pistol brass
example,
goes
like
a long time.
5.56 or 223 rifle ammo, especially out of an AR, I might only get about, I don't know, maybe 5 or 6 reloads out of that piece of brass. When it comes to something like 9mm or 45 ACP, man, I personally have reloaded well over 20, 25 times on one batch of brass. So obviously the more times you reload, the lower that price drops because you're not having to pay for that brass, obviously. And especially if you picked up range pick rifle brass, it's how you're going to save the most amount of money. So.
okay, all right. Did you want to add on to that, Patrick?
No, absolutely. Pistol brass, the reason I always tell people to get into pistol first is because it takes a lot less to do it.
It's
you don't
a lot
have to
less complicated.
Yeah, you don't have to size your brass to the right height. You don't have to lube them when you're running them through the dies. It's a lot simpler, and it gives you a really good experience as to like how reloading works, what goes where, how to do things in order.
I've always said the big fat elephant is headspace. The big fat elephant in the room is headspace when it comes to reloading. And I'm not saying pistol doesn't have headspace, but when it comes to rifle reloading, the number one thing, especially in terms of safety, is headspace. And if you don't know how to properly size your brass to get the correct headspace, it can be very dangerous, especially when it comes to things like case head separation. But like in pistol reloading, like he said, it's a lot easier. And I usually would recommend doing something like a barrel plunk test to test that headspace. So
it's really, it's a lot simpler. There's a lot less to think about. That's one of the reasons why I stopped reloading 223. Well, one, Hank was getting Fort Scott, and I shoot a lot of their stuff now. But I just got so you size it in the sizing die, and then so for my process, I do a wet tumble on all my brass. So I size it in the sizing die, and I empty. I take the I decap first, then I wet tumble, then I size. You lube and size, and then I have what's that guy's name? He makes a all-in-one thing where you just press the brass into it and it cuts it to the right size. Gerard.
Is that a tri-weight trimmer?
Yeah, I have one of his trimmers. But it got so I was just like, after a while, I'm like, I don't shoot that much 5.56 anymore. I just don't want to sit down and do this. So I've gotten to where I reload kind of more specialty things. 30-06, I'll reload for like my M1 Garand. But yeah,
right now the way pistol ammunition prices are, I rarely reload progressively for pistol. It's mostly precision ARs and precision bolt actions.
Okay.
Until the prices go crazy like they were 6-7 years ago, where you couldn't get ammunition on the shelf. Then I was, I got all the components. I got brass, primers, powder, bullets. I got enough here to last me years
through the apocalypse.
David Barnauls is tech
when
question.
shit hits the fan, I'm going to be everyone's best friend.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Speaking of rifle brass, if I'm only neck sizing for bolt action, do I need to bump the shoulder? Can I do it with a neck sizing die, or is there a trick with a full length die?
Okay, so when it comes to sizing brass, there's two different methods. You got full length resizing, and then you have neck only. Now, if you're reloading for something like an AR or any type of semi-automatic, you absolutely have to full-length resize. You don't have the luxury of doing neck only. And the reason why, it's more about function. You have to make sure you bump that headspace back properly and that body is in spec. And you have to full-length resize. But when it comes to a bolt action, 100%, you can either full-length resize or you can do neck only. And I've seen guys where they'll put no headspace at all, and they'll get it so that brass just barely fits in that chamber, and then they'll do the neck only, and they'll play with neck tension, and that's where their ball expanders come into play, and they'll size that neck down to 2 or 1/1000th of an inch just below the diameter of the bullet to make sure that it has the proper neck tension on it. But it's about having no headspace so that brass seals off in the chamber quicker. But for me personally, I just full length resize everything, regardless if it's bolt action or ARs or semi-automatics. I just like to keep it simple, stupid for myself. So
Okay, all right, go ahead, Patrick.
No, one of my problems is when I reload cartridges, I'm not necessarily going to stick it in the same gun every time. So if you're reloading, like if you have one bolt gun in 243 or whatever, and you know that brass is only going back into that bolt gun, then yeah, you're good with neck sizing. For me, my 30-aught could be my M1 Garand. It might be somebody else's M1 Garand. It might be somebody's 03 Springfield. So I like to do full length sizing just because I make sure everything comes back to spec. But that's just me.
So for pure example sake, like this precision bolt action here, I will reload ammunition strictly for this rifle. There's no other brass or ammunition goes in this other than the reloads I specifically reload for this. Like you said, it's going for the ultimate precision. Then yeah, you might want a neck size. But for me, I just like to full length resize and keep it simple, stupid.
How do you?
That's how I am.
So with that case, like to the point that Patrick is making, how do you keep from some accident happening that you don't, like one of your friends or something takes that ammo and puts it in something else? Do you specially package it, or what do you do?
So when you fire around in that rifle, that brass expands to that rifle's chamber, and that's what's called fire form brass. And when you fire that round in that chamber, that brass expands and it custom sizes to the headspace of that particular rifle. And then for an AR, you'd want to bump that shoulder, the datum line. That's the distance from the base of the brass to the middle of the shoulder. You'd want to bump that brass back from fire form 0.003 to 0.005 thousandths of an inch back from fire form to make sure it will function in that. And actually, I'll measure the headspace in multiple ARs of mine or semi-automatics to make sure that they'll work in all of them. But if you're going for the absolute precision, a lot of guys, they won't bump their brass headspace back at all. Then they'll just do neck size only. But, if it's for hunting, you definitely want to bump that headspace back for function purposes. You're not going absolutely for the most ultimate precision. So
Okay. And are there any tricks that you guys use just to make sure that those things don't get mixed in with other things, or?
Yeah, you usually have an info card. So, for example's sake, whenever I start reloading, I don't know if you guys can make this out here.
Yeah.
But I will put, the date, the quantity that I'm reloading. I'll put information of the brass. For example, this was once fired, purchased Lake City brass. This is for my AR. I actually put the target headspace on there. So when I fire that round out of that AR and it ejects at, say, for example, 1.456 using a headspace gauge. So this would be a headspace gauge right here. Let me get this firearm out of my lap.
Elfster obviously has his safe over there to the side because guns keep coming out.
So I
That's
actually
nice.
have a headspace gauge here. I don't know if
Okay.
you guys can make this out.
Which,
but I can
hold on, let me go full screen with you. What brand are you using there?
So this is a Hornady bump gauge, also is a headspace gauge.
Okay.
And first and foremost, I want to make sure this is zeroed out. And I'm kind of jumping all over in regards to the reloading process. But this would be fire formed for most likely an M16. This probably came from the military. This is Lake City brass. I buy this in batches of 1,000 for about $80. So about 8 cents a piece. And you can see this fire formed to that specific AR's chamber of 1.462. Now, for my firearm, out of my specific AR, I actually have a piece of that here. It will fire form a considerable amount less because it has a wild chamber. They'll fire form at 1.457-ish, 458. And then usually for an AR or semi-automatic, I'd want to bump that headspace back 0.003 to 0.005 back from fire form to make sure it functions in that AR. But for a bolt action or something that you where you can feel the resistance of that headspace in the bolt as you close it home, a lot of those guys won't put any bump on that shoulder at all, and they'll actually have it at 0 or maybe 1 or 2 thousandths of an inch for headspace. So
Okay, cool. Interesting. Here, let me try to get in a couple of questions here. Or actually, here's a comment from Gibson Fender. He said, Elfsters is one of my new favorite channels on YouTube. Just got here. Glad to see he's on. His recent series on PSA was stellar. 2 thumbs ups. There you go. 2 thumbs ups. Let's see. And DCG44 says, who likes Redding? I think you got...
Redding stuff is good. It's expensive.
Okay,
Redding is my favorite dies, hands down. Matter of fact, all my precision, like my bolt actions and my crown jewel, my AR here, I'll show you here, guys, in a little bit. But I use nothing but Redding dies for my precision ARs. And main reason why is because they have what's called a micro seeder die. And I can play with a specific seating depth if I'm going... for pure precision.
Basically got a micrometer on top that you can dial in tiny bits at a time, tiny increments at a time.
Okay.
You know, and I usually buy them as a 3 die set, so it has a crimp, the cedar, and sizer. And I know a lot of people ask the question, do you crimp or not crimp? I personally do not crimp my rounds at all, as long as they have good neck tension.
Yeah.
That's...
You know, crimping ain't easy. Crimping ain't easy.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to throw in some reloading humor. Not that I have any idea. Okay, Richard Hughes. Babyface thinks this is funny. He's like, you're embarrassing me now. Richard
well, we're gonna
Hughes,
get you reloading here one of these days. Here.
yeah.
Good luck. Hank is not the technical type.
He just doesn't have the time.
I
He's
get
not a
distracted.
tinkerer.
I get distracted.
Yeah,
I'm
Hank's the
not
type that gets
focused like
distracted and then
Patrick.
blows himself up. So
Yeah.
I do the reloading.
Yeah. See, Patrick is the focus kind, man. I can, I'm like a kitten after some string or something like that. It's real easy. Richard Hughes says, how do you know how many times it's been fired? Which is a good question. Some of these are from a while back, but I'm trying to get to every question here. So how do you guys know?
So you don't. Well, if you're at the range and you're picking up range pick brass, you do not know. That's why you got to be careful. And like I said earlier, you can pick up a piece of brass, and a good indication if it's only been fired once is to look at the primer. If it has primer seal around it,
Or if it's crimped.
or if it's crimped, that shows a crimp, that's a good indication that it's only been fired once. And if you don't see that primer sealer on there, or if you've seen the crimp has obviously been removed for like military brass and Lake City brass that comes with a crimp on the primer, that's a pretty clear indication that it's been reloaded. And you've got to be very careful about that, because if you fire, especially bottle case rifle ammunition too many times, you can get what's called case head separation, and it is very, very dangerous. So it could literally blow up your rifle. So.
Okay. Let's see here. I'm going to try to go through.
And that's why I do this brass organization. I mean,
Okay.
this bag, I know for a fact this bag of brass has 4 fires on it. And this bag
that's too much damn organization so far as I'm concerned.
This bag has two bags of fires.
Oh,
See,
my
I
God.
don't keep my stuff that organized. I shoot it so I've actually not had a whole lot of case head separation issues. Most of mine are cracked necks. Yeah. So like just about every time I just toss it when it looks like it's worn or the neck's cracked. But yeah, I by wet tumbling first, dropping the primers and wet tumbling. I look through the cases as I dump them into the Dylan to make sure that they look fine.
Yeah. And
but inspecting your
different.
Yeah.
Inspecting your ammo as you go along is a big deal as well. So inspect when you clean, inspect when you prime. Before you package up all your ammo, I do a dunk test on. I have the chamber testers, and I dump each round in a chamber test to make sure it'll chamber. And then I actually look at every round I reload to make sure that there's no split necks, there's no the case head isn't stretching.
You can actually test for case head separation with a paper clip too. You can bend a paper clip out, bend the end of it at an angle, and you can scratch the inside of the brass. And if you feel any indentation or especially an obvious dip, it's a good sign that case head separation is impending, and it's something you really got. It's the most important thing in the reloading aspect to keep an eye out for, because it's very, very dangerous.
Yeah. So what do you guys do with the shell casings that you're not going to use anymore, that have been fired too much or whatever?
A bucket of that you take and get rid of.
So I got this bucket. It's called bad brass. After it's been fired too many times, once it goes in this bucket, it never comes back out. And I usually take it to the recycle center and recycle it and get some money back.
Okay.
Yeah,
cool.
I have a 5-gallon bucket downstairs that I need to get to the recycle that weighs a monster amount of weight, because it's probably 80% spent primers and 20% bad brass. So those spent primers take up so much space in there that it weighs a ton, and I've just not taken it. I need to at some point. It's pretty much full.
There's a recycle place in my neck of the woods.
Well, listen, I'll throw that 5-gallon bucket in the Audi. You come pick it up, and you can take it over.
Not going in the Audi.
Get you $5 worth of
pickup truck of money all day long. All day long. That's for the pickup truck. Okay, let's see. LV Louis Cypher says. Babyface, no argument there. My RCBS rock chucker I bought back in 1993, still going. I also have the 12-gauge shot shell die set, which gives me a single stage.
Nothing wrong with RCBS rock chucker. Matter of fact, my friend's reloading 338 Lapua on his, and it works just fine.
Yeah, I have a 12-gauge reloader in the garage that I bought that somebody refinished, and it looked great. I have never even brought it down off the shelf. I paid like $150 for it, and I was like, man, maybe I'll reload some shotgun shells. And then it went up on a shelf, and I don't buy shotgun.
Okay, so you've never done that. Yeah.
I've never used it.
Yeah. By the way, shout out to John Crumps. I see he's out there. Let's see what other things we have here. Come on, guys.
Says take your bad brass and melt it down into a AR receiver. There is a guy that did that. He made I think it was a 308 receiver, milled it out and everything.
That'll be a cool project. That'll be a cool project.
I got a good question for you, Babyface. Do you anneal?
No, I've never have. To me, it's a waste of time with how cheap, like with how much brass I have. It's just a waste of my time. When the neck splits, chuck it. Not even worth my time.
Okay.
It's a good practice.
He's not Kaepernick. That's all I could say. He's not Kaepernick. No one's.
I get it.
We get it. Okay. All right. Let's see. Richard Hughes is surprised that you're sweeping my range. He doesn't do that anymore. He's spoiled now. SoCal Gunner says, I use a Lee press for reloading my 300 Win Mag. Hunting ammo saves me so much money, and I make super accurate ammo.
Yeah, see, that's the thing. One of my big reloads that I do, that I actually will do, is on a single stage, I reload Mark 262, the 77 grain match, open tip match AR ammo, and that stuff is stupid accurate. You can put hole on hole with a good load in that. That is some fun stuff to shoot.
Yeah.
Yeah, one of my favorite bullets for 223 is actually the 60 grain. I don't know if you guys can make this out. This is all bullets up here. 60 grain VMAX.
Yeah.
I got thousands of bullets up here. But
this is your workshop, right?
Yeah, so I got bullets
Way
here.
too organized, man. Way too organized. You're going to have to trash up this workshop.
I probably got about, I'm guessing, 50 pounds of powder down here.
Oh, okay.
That's my problem. Is we don't. Do you have a good reloading shop there locally?
Yes, Shields is amazing, man. If you got a local Shields, they have everything: powder, primers, every single bullet you could possibly think of. And what's really nice about Shields is they match online without question.
Ah, you're really lucky. We don't have any good reloading spots here.
Yeah.
We have one guy that runs a ammo manufacturer, so if I ever need anything, I can always go to him and ask for, hey, do you have some brass I could borrow, or do you have a box of these bullets I could buy?
Yeah.
But we don't have a good reloading spot anywhere in the city.
Well, that's where you got to keep an eye out for things like online with like Natchez and even Barnauls, where they do the free hazmat promo codes.
Makes it so worth it.
Yeah, you really got to keep an eye out, and that's where you really want to jump on those, especially with those promo codes. Man, you can get an 8-pound jug of something like H4350 shipped with that promo code for like $185, and that's crazy cheap for powder for an 8-pound jug of it. So
back when,
pounds.
yeah, the big ones. Back when, right after Sandy Hook, when I started really getting heavy into reloading, and powder was hard to find, there was a guy that was selling quote unquote loose powder because he had bought like 25 kegs. So the kegs are 25 pounds, 30 pounds, 40 pounds, something like I think of 40 pounds. And I should have just bought the whole 40-pound keg because I've never seen another one. It's how they get delivered to like Winchester or to the big companies, just the full 40-pound keg. And I've never been able to find another one, but man,
I think we're putting Hank to sleep with our reloading.
No. You guys are doing good. I'm just looking at the comments. Let me get some. Okay, John Crump wants to know who likes popcorn. So there you go. If you want some popcorn, John Crump is in the chat right now. I'm sure he will direct you to that. The Pants says, "I'll take some of that spare brass off your hands."
Hashtag you need just 5.56. You let me know. I got 10,000 rounds sitting downstairs. Probably.
Yannick Stoner says, "Hank, can you email me 5.56 brass?" Okay. He said mail, not email. So
here's 1,000 pieces of 5.56 Lake City I just purchased. So 1,000 pieces. I got this for $80 off a guy off of Facebook. Facebook doesn't need to know that, but $80. Usually I can reload this about 5-6 times out of an AR until the neck starts to split, like good old Babyface stated earlier. But yeah.
Cool.
How do you store your powder? As long as it's cool and dry, you're good. For me.
So, what I like to do is the lower in my basement, the lower the better. God forbid you ever get a fire in your house. Like this situation, I got 50 pounds of powder. I do have PEX piping in here. And if a fire does occur, most likely that PEX piping is going to turn into a good water sprinkler. And usually in a fire, a lot of damage in a fire actually happens from water damage. And that's why I try to keep my powder in my basement as low as I can to the ground. But Sammy Specs actually recommends, believe it or not, storing powder in a wood crate. And I know that seems crazy, but if you actually read their specs, they actually recommend storing in a wood crate.
Why would that be?
Something to do with that's another thing too, is you never want to store your powder in a concealed container. That's the quickest way to create a bomb, obviously. So that's why you'll never see this being locked. It's loose doors on it. And I'm not exactly sure why Sammy Specs call out for a wood crate. I think it has to do with the burn rate. But yeah, I don't know, that's what they call out for. But I keep mine in a metal cabinet, not locked, not sealed,
in the original container is pretty important too. And never mix. Don't mix your powders. If you get a new batch, a new pound, don't pour it in with your old 6 pounds that you already have. Keep them separate.
Okay. Yep. Okay. Let's see. Okay. I'm going to get this comment in. Tyven Show's disagreeing with you, Patrick. He says 338 is still $13 a round and reload for $2 a round.
Yeah, so but you're never going to reload enough 338 Lapua to pay for your you're dealing $750. It's just never going to happen.
It's all about what it really is about all the bullet that you pick. You can pick one bullet, it can be one price. Pick another one, it can be twice the price.
Yep.
And it's how many reloads you can get out of that piece of brass. Obviously, every time you reload it, it knocks that price down.
Super Magnums are the other one that you're. I don't know how many reloads you get out of a Magnum, like a 338.
You know, if you get something like a 300 grain Sierra Match King with, you know, I think 338 Lapua, the last time I checked, takes damn near 88 grains of powder.
Yeah.
It's twice the amount of powder as a 308.
Yeah.
You're gonna kill that jug of powder twice as fast. So.
Yeah, that's the thing you don't realize when you're especially when you're reloading Magnum cartridges.
Yeah, so when you're buying those rifles, you got to keep an eye out for not only the price of the rifle, but how much it's going to cost to shoot the damn thing.
You get what 100 cartridges, it's 7,000 grains per pound, and you're talking 88. Let's see.
So the way you figure the cost of ammunition is 1 pound of powder has 7,000 grains. So, for example, if I'm reloading 223 and that particular 223 round takes 24 grains of powder, you're going to take the 7,000, divide it by 24, and that's how many rounds you're going to get out of that 1 pound of powder.
You get about 80 rounds out of 1 pound for 338 Lapua.
Once you figure out how many rounds you can get out of a pound of powder, you just divide that by the price, and that's how you figure out your
minus your labor, of course.
Yeah.
Oh God, you never take in. So that's one thing for me. I never account for labor, and I never account for equipment prices because I'm going to own the equipment anyways, and I'm going to put the time in no matter what. Yeah. Just don't even think about it.
So for a pound of powder, you can usually get about 290 reloads for 223. To give you an example.
Okay. So, Gibson Fender has a question. Says, ask Elfster what's his favorite brand of new brass. Does he like Starline? And he's thanking all of us.
What's this new brass thing you're talking
about? When it comes to brass, it just depends on what I'm reloading for. I'm a huge AR Precision fan. Here, I'll show you my crown jewel here. This is
Again, if you want to see the crown jewels, go to pornhub.com/babyfaceP.
So this is my crown jewel.
We don't want to see your family jewels. The crown jewels. The crown jewels.
But for this, you know, for my ARs, I like to use Lake City brass. Lake City brass is super cheap to buy, but it's very durable. They got to meet a specific military spec with Lake City brass for my ARs. But, you know, if it's for a bolt action, I'm probably going to buy something like Lapua brass. So Lapua seems like it lasts really long, and it's a little expensive, but you get more reloads out of it, so it's kind of a wash. So
you get the quality.
Yeah. Let's see. Okay, Tyven has another thing. He says, never reload on a humid day. Your powder can draw in unwanted moisture. So is that a thing?
If you're in Florida, never reload.
Yeah.
Yeah. What about if your house is air conditioned?
Well, that definitely helps. You want a dehydrator. I have heard of cases dehydrators started a fire. Obviously, that's not a good thing when you got 50 pounds of powder right next door. So.
Right. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay, so let's see. Baked Pagan, I think that's the name. Baked Pagan says, not a reloader, but this show is very informative. So
there's a thing with if you're mechanically inclined and you like tinkering, reloading is 100% for you.
Mm-hmm.
See, I'm an estimator by trade.
This is like you work in numbers all day, every day.
I work with numbers all day long, so.
Yeah. So let's see here. I'm gonna go to another one. Let's see, what's this one? DCG44 says, so you can sign up for BDU and come out good on expensive ammo like 338 Lapua instead of loading your own.
No.
Okay, that's Babyface.
Well,
Babyface says no. He's got personal
precision.
Reasons. Yeah.
If you're reloading, it's for me at least, it's all about precision. So
and it's cathartic. It's fun. It's a hobby. It's more than just a means to an end. It's something to do. It's fun.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's a legacy skill, in my opinion. To be a true marksman, it's 33% shooter, 33% how accurate your firearm is, and 33% your reloads. If you're trying to shoot long distances, especially like a mile in that example, we went out to shoot a mile at PSA. In my opinion, if your firearm can't produce 1 minute of angle groups at 100 yards, 1 minute or less, you're kind of wasting your time shooting at a mile. 1 minute of angle group at a mile is 18.4 inches. And, if your firearm can produce a 1 minute of angle group at 100 yards or 1 inch, it's going to be 18.4 inches at a mile. Well, if your firearm produces a 2 minute of angle group at 100 yards, that 18.4 doubles in size at a mile. So it's really important to, in my opinion, reload if you're going for the ultimate precision and shooting long distance.
Yeah. Red Bear says liking that Avi. I don't know what that means. Is that Elfster's
liking
gun?
that what?
The Avi. I don't know what the
AVE? How do you spell it?
AVI.
Oh, I don't know.
No idea what that means. You're gonna have to elaborate, Red Bear, because it went right over the mohawk. Yeah, but show us this gun, man. Tell us the details of this gun you have here while Babyface is chowing down.
My crown jewel. So
you're not on screen, Babyface, so go for it.
I got Chinese food. I'm happy.
Yeah.
So this was actually made at Krieger. The friend, the gunsmith at Krieger, he built this at Krieger. It has a Krieger barrel on it. It's a 6.5 Mega Ma 10 AR. It's got a billet Mega upper with a billet lower. It's got a Krieger 22-inch heavy profile barrel. It's got a blended brake, and it's got an actual 2 extra inches of gas tube on it above and beyond rifle length. So, usually when you get a gas tube, it's going to be carbine length, rifle length. This one has an extra 2 inches of gas tube on it for lower gas pressures.
Okay. This is specialized.
Fully ambidextrous controls, a JP low mass bolt carrier group with a JP silent capture system with tuned springs and a PRS buttstock.
Holy moly!
This is a real tack driver.
Can we see a close up of it? Do you mind? Can we see? Yeah, let's get it in here. Let people. So you said a blended brake. What does that mean? It's built into the barrel. What's a blended brake?
So the brake is literally blended right into the barrel itself. I don't know if you can see that or not.
Okay, I've never seen that before. It's my first time.
So it's the rifle probably is threaded. They then thread the brake on, and then you file it in so there's no seam.
You don't see any seam at all. Now, this is great if you want less recoil, but when it comes to suppressors, it really sucks. You don't want that if you got a suppressor. So.
Yeah. Okay, very cool, man. That's a nice... and what do you use that for?
So that would be definitely a long-range precision rig. And that is my AR. This is also my bolt action that has a Krieger barrel with a blended brake, pretty much the same barrel.
You're all blended, braked out.
Yeah. So, but this was actually one of the first Ruger precision rifles when they first came out. I can't be 100% on this, but I'm pretty sure I was the first one to get a direct thread barrel on a Ruger precision rifle that was aftermarket.
Okay.
So this thing is an absolute tack driver, and it's actually my most accurate firearm I have, hands down. So.
Talk about bang for your buck. Those 6.5 precision rifles are amazing.
Yeah.
For $1,200, you can get into long range, and it's pretty crazy.
Yeah. Yeah. That's what we have. What was the one that we're
not using the Ruger.
No, wasn't that?
Well, we're shooting at the PSA event.
No. No, the PSA event was actually a PSA. I thought we did make a Ruger American. No, that Creed.
Yeah, that is an Ruger, but it's a American, not a precision.
Oh, okay, it's an American.
It's an American put into a precision stock or a precision type stock, but it's not the quote unquote Ruger precision rifle.
Oh, okay, all right, cool.
Those Ruger precision rifles are amazing.
Okay, Dudabod says I'm currently learning to precision reload 6 PPC from a precision dude. It's an art and a science. My first reload cartridge will be 308 Win rifle and 9mm pistol.
It is an art. When you get into stuff like that.
308, my opinion, is probably the best cartridge to learn on. 223 or 308, if you want to start out reloading, 100%, that's probably the best 2 cartridges to learn on. Matter of fact, I have that playlist. I don't know if you can bring that up again, but it actually shows you how to reload 223 and 308 together, a start to finish video series. Like I said, it goes through brass organization, decapping, cleaning, drying brass, annealing, swaging, uniforming the primer pocket, the flash hole, lubing brass, talking about fireform brass, headspace, full length sizing versus neck only, sizing your brass, trimming the brass, chamfer and deburring, dropping powder and seating that bullet. And if you guys got any questions, don't hesitate to give me a shout out on Facebook. That's usually the best way to get a hold of me, Facebook Messenger. If you guys got any questions on loading, I'm definitely here to help you out. So
yeah, and that's if someone's joining us right now, that's on Elfster's Rifles and Reloading on YouTube. Yep. If you want to ask him questions, we'll definitely have him back on over here. But I figured while we're here, we'll get into this. And for the folks out there, please smash the thumbs ups, man. Come on, like 17 more and we get to 100. Let's see. David Cardinal says biggest investment in a single piece of reloading gear was the Lab Radar chronograph.
So that's a chronograph.
I don't think it was
probably the best chronograph you can get. So,
yeah. What was that, Patrick?
Honestly, my chronograph, I have a cheaper one. If I were able to, for testing ammo, testing rifle ammo, I think what I would want to get is one of the I can't remember what it was called. Mac had one. It's a camera system that you put down range, and it is a wireless signal back to where you're sitting, so you don't have to use a spotting scope. You can just see what you're shooting at. Because that's the hardest thing, is you're sitting back, and I don't have a good spotting scope. So at 100, trying to spot a 22 hole with a shitty spotting scope is pretty tough.
You know what? That's like what they used when we were doing the mile, Elfster.
Did you have was it a camera thing?
Yeah, there was a thing that was on the stand with us. We were like
they had the Cadwell 1 mile target system where it's
those are really cool.
It's got a receiver and a broadcaster, and it will send the signal right back to you. You can link it up with your iPod or iPad, and it's nice to have, especially when you're shooting those distances.
Yeah.
In fact, there's guys shooting 3.5 miles, damn near 3.5 miles now, over 3 miles, which is
holy
insane.
Moly. Okay.
Yeah.
Respect to those guys. So let's see what we got here. Baked Pagan says, love the scope. So what were those scopes you had on there? I'm sure you said it, but I missed it. Because I think it looks like on both of those guns you had the same scope, right?
No. My bolt action, these are kind of older scopes. I should probably update them, but this is the Burris XTR2. So I don't know if you guys could make that out there. So this is a 5 to 25. This is a minute of angle flavor scope. So it's not a mill-based scope. It's a minute of angle based scope. It's also an FFP. It's not a second focal plane. It's a front focal plane or first focal plane scope, which a lot of guys use first focal plane or front focal plane scopes for ranging, but everyone talks about ranging when it comes to front focal plane scopes. It's really about doing holdovers at different magnifications for field of view is where it really boils down to it when it comes to scopes. But otherwise, I pretty much rock nothing but Vortex. I like their warranty, especially when it comes to sell the scope. People know that it's a transferable, non-questionable warranty. But I actually have a firearm series about to come out, and I can't exactly drop the information on that, but it's I got this Nikon scope just got in. It's going to be on that firearm, which I'm about to debut here in about 2 weeks. This will be the Nikon FX 1000. It's an FFP or front focal plane scope, minute of angle, quarter MOA clicks. And you can usually get these for, I don't know, shipped $580 for a front focal plane scope. Heck, 2-3 years ago to get a FFP scope, minimum $1,200. You got places like Athlon now. I think Primary Arms is coming out with their Gold Series. And the fact that you can get FFP scopes now for under $700 is pretty crazy.
The competition in the space has really made it a good, good prices and good value and stuff like that for the consumer out there right now with all the competition. And by the way, it's not stopping. There's more and more people getting into the space, which I think is a good thing.
But I try to keep a collection of second focal plane and front focal plane scopes, and also mill and MOA based scopes to keep me fresh on those tactics. So DCG44 says, I prefer Thompson Center Performance
center over Ruger. We've tested their stuff. We've got no issues with it.
Yeah, I've heard good things about them.
Yeah. Let's see here. What's another?
Mechanically speaking, most firearms will outshoot you. Mechanically speaking, from your average shooter, most rifles will outperform the shooter. So most of the time, you just need to improve your. Once you get to a certain level, then you can start looking at like expensive rifles and whatnot. But for your everyday shooter, hunter, somebody wanting to improve their skills, you don't need to spend $5,000 on a Shy-Tech or $10,000 or whatever it is. Like, you can improve your skill on something $500 to $1,000.
Well, especially like these precision AR rigs like PSA is coming out with. I mean, heck, you can get a 6.5 Creedmoor PSA. I think it comes with an 18-inch barrel, threaded. It has adjustable gas block. It's for what, $799 for a 6.5 Creedmoor with a stainless barrel?
Yep.
I mean, that's unheard of.
Yeah,
absolutely unheard of.
And we actually saw their QC process on those barrels. It's ridiculous.
And not only that, but to actually walk through that DC machine plant and actually see real Americans working on real freedom. It was something to really see in person. It changed my mind, especially. I mean, not a good viewpoint on PSA, but to actually see that in person really goes, man, these are some hardworking people trying to produce American freedom, protecting our Second Amendment. And I was really impressed.
Right. Okay, so we got a super chat here from Gibson Fender. He says, one more for Elfster, if I may. When he shot the mile during the PSA event, what rifle was he shooting? He wants to thank all of us, so thanks to Gibson Fender out there. Yeah, you want to talk about that?
So I was shooting the PSA, the PSA, their 6.5 Creedmoor. Like I pretty much just got done explaining it. It had the adjustable gas block. I believe they had the PSA scope on there too. And personally, I think if I was PSA, I would have put like a 20-minute of angle built-in mount on that, because they were maxing out that reticle. Yeah. And we were doing the absolute max on the holdover on the reticle to hit at a mile. I believe it took almost 79 minutes of angle. And I believe that scope on the elevation turret maxed out, I think, at 60 minutes. So if you got to make a minute of angle adjustment for a mile at roughly 79, 78 minutes of angle, we'll just round that up to 80. And your turrets max out at 60, you got to make up 20 minutes of angle somewhere. And you're going to do that with a holdover on the reticle. And that's exactly what we were doing. I don't know if you remember that, Hank, but we were putting that 2 foot by 4 foot steel plate at a mile at the very bottom of that reticle holdover with the elevation turrets maxed out. So it was pretty insane. Yeah. But, I mean, they were connecting, and everyone hit it in our group, which is really impressive, especially for a firearm that costs $799.
Yeah, so it's pretty much, if you want to know, it's your standard PSA 6.5 Creedmoor semi-auto.
Yeah. Yep. You know, and that 6.5 Creedmoor at a mile, that's max. It's about as max as you can do. I mean, the energy foot-pounds and the feet per second on that 6.5 bullet, I'm not exactly sure what ammunition they're using, but the energy foot-pounds and the feet per second at a mile is similar to a 9mm handgun at point-blank range. It's dropping like a rock at those ranges into the absolute max. So to get past anything further than that, you'd have to put a minute of angle scope mount on there, which they didn't have. They should have had it, but they didn't.
Yeah. So explain that. Explain the minute of angle scope mounts and where you get them from. And
so when you are shooting extreme long distances, it's probably a good thing to buy a scope mount that has minutes of angle built into it. What it does, it just tilts the scope, down more, so you got to crank it back up. So you're not running out of minute of angle adjustments on your elevation turret, or in our case, we were maxing out not only the elevation, but also the holdover on the reticle. If it was another 200 feet, we wouldn't have seen it. I guess I've always said it's better to have it than not to have it. It definitely doesn't hurt to buy a scope mount that has at least 20 minutes of angle built into it, so you don't start running out of elevation on your turrets or maxing out your holdover. And all of my precision rigs have that on there with 20 minutes, and they even go more than that. I've seen 30,
Okay.
40,
All
especially
right.
shooting extreme distances. So.
Okay, so extreme distances, what are you saying? Once you're shooting over 1,000 yards, what's...
It depends on the cartridge.
Okay.
You know, I got a video of me shooting my Ruger Precision 22 LR rimfire at 300 yards, and if memory serves me correct, that took 52 minutes of angle, and that's just at 300 yards to hit a steel plate at 300 yards. It just depends on the cartridge, you know.
Okay. Let's see. Okay, the Juice wants to remind Babyface that's the Bullseye camera system. I don't know if you saw that.
I saw it.
Yeah.
You're behind on comments.
Right.
Well, they
I'm way
actually have
behind.
the Bullseye, and then they have the Cadwell. They're two different things.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Let's see what is. Let's see what's this other comment here. Okay, Dogface Soldier wants to know what's our carry guns. You guys want to get into this? I have a Glock G43 for me. G43. Yeah, go ahead.
I got a SIG P320 compact with a Romeo 1. I like the Romeo 1. It's got that auto on and off feature on the red dot. So the second I pick it up, that thing turns on, and the second I laid it down, it shuts off. So
nice. What about you, Babyface?
P365 still.
Yeah,
I still love mine.
Yeah. And just for today, I brought in the Shield. This is what used to be Lola's.
Oh man,
you can get those dirt
Shield.
cheap on Palmetto.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, this is
insane.
It's like $2 for $1 right now. The Shield.
Unheard
old
of
school.
prices.
Remember these bad boys?
Unheard of prices.
Yeah, real old school. Okay, let's see. Let's see if there's any. I know I'm way behind on these comments here. Trying to catch up and see. Gibson Fender says he loves Vortex. Okay, let's see what else is going on here. Okay, I'm just going to skip forward to the end so we can see.
I think I enjoy reloading more than shooting. I really like the load development. I kind of agree. It's hard to get away sometimes.
Yeah.
And you're just like surrounded by people at the range, which sucks.
Usually when I'm fighting with my girlfriend, I'm reloading.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. Someone was asking us about 300 Blackout. Like, what's the opinions on 300 Blackout? I saw the question. They asked it a couple times. We should probably hit that. What do you guys think about 300 Blackout reloading-wise?
Do it.
So the reason why you're going to reload 300 Blackout is because most likely you're running suppressed. It's really a suppressor-friendly cartridge, obviously. Especially if reloading, you can play with those different powder drops and try and get it super subsonic. So you can take that ear protection off. But in my personal opinion, if you're not going to run a can, I would just run 7.62 by 39. Matter of fact, I have this PSA 10.5 inch 22 or 5.56 223. But I also have a 7.62 by 39 upper that I can swap out with the same lower. When I'm using the 7.62 by 39, I use a C Products magazine with it, and I can use the same lower. So it saves me $200 right there, and I just swap them back and forth. So in my opinion, if you're not going to run a can, not run suppress, I just run with the 7.62 by 39. You can get 1,000 rounds of Wolf steel case ammunition shipped for $185. I mean it's a no-brainer right there.
Okay.
But yeah, if you're going to be running a can, 300 Blackout is the way to go.
Yeah. Babyface, you want to add anything to that?
Yeah, if you're using it for what its intended purpose was, which is a 10-inch barrel, subsonic with a can, then I think 300 Blackout is amazing. I love it. But yeah, for when you start talking for like people that want like the 124 grain, 123 grain, or 115 grain bullets, at that point it's the same ballistics as an AK, and AK ammo is cheaper, so typically I just go for the AK. The only difference, I guess, is if you want the ballistics of a 7.6239 in an AR platform, then I like the I don't like running 7.6239 ARs. I'd rather run a 300 Blackout.
$185.
Yeah, exactly. It's stupid cheap
for 1,000 rounds.
Yeah. Dude Abide says for you can get 20 MOA from a reflex periscope in front of your scope. See Tibosaurus Rex. So there you go. And then the Juice says, I'm not sure what any of that is. You guys either understand that or don't. Juice says 20 MOA mounts are 5.8 MRAD in case there's any MRAD heads out there.
Yeah. So you're just talking the difference between mill-based and or milliradian versus minute of angle. So they're two different systems. They do the same damn thing. So.
Yeah. And then Kermit Loves Bacon says, Babyface, why did you get a Dillon 750?
Yeah, so I wish I had a 750. The 750 is the new one that just came out. I have a XL 650 or 650 XL, whatever it is, and I love it. I've run it for a long time. The reason I went with the 650 over the 550 at the time was I wanted the powder check. So the 650, if you wanted basically a powder check that tells you pretty much if you have no powder or double charged, it's a kind of a gross measure. You either had to do a 650 or a 1050, and the 1050 was kind of just outside of my budget at the time, where the 650 I could reasonably afford. I had to do some saving, but I saved up the $1,000 to put down on a 650 with all the gubbins.
Yeah.
I just didn't. The 550
I've heard good
was
things
just
about that
short.
750 though.
I don't know what they changed. I know that you can't upgrade a 650 to a 750 because they have reworked the mold itself, the cast.
Check out Highboy Reloader 76. He has a whole series that he just got a 750 on. He really knows his stuff too. A good guy. We should really check out his
Yeah, I'll go look.
What's the name again?
I believe it's Highboy 76.
Okay.
76 Highboy Reloading.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I love. Personally, I'm a fan of Dillon stuff.
Yeah.
I love everything Dillon. It's just they're kind of premium, so you pay a premium price for their dies.
If you want the best of the best, and if I was to start all over, I would have got Dillon presses. I mean, I still like my Hornady if it fills its need, and I probably won't change. But if I was to start over, I would probably go the Dillon route.
Oh, is Dillon the cream of the crop?
Yeah, and what's nice about Dillon's is they have these interchangeable heads on them. So if you want to have a head with all the dies, they're set just perfectly for 9mm, and you can have a whole other head that you can pull this out and put this head back in that has 45 ACP, and you don't have to screw around and rearrange all your dies. You can jump from cartridge to cartridge like this.
Yeah,
and that's where Dillon really shines, is the fact that you can have multiple heads for different cartridges, and you can reload a whole gambit of cartridges just like that. So
they're also the guys that came up with the Dillon minigun, so that also makes it cooler. So the Dillon minigun is the same Dillon Precision.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
But no, I have loaded, probably 10,000 9mm through my Dillon, and it has never given me an issue. It's never failed me. When you start getting into some weird stuff, like when 300 Blackout first came out, and Dillon didn't have a set of dies or a set of things to use with it, you kind of had to pick and choose what you wanted, and things got a little funky. But if I had the money, if I had to pick again a 750, I would start. Well, I like the single stage for working up stuff, but if you're going progressive, 750 was where it's at. Yeah. If you really want to start hauling ass though, like if you got $2,000 to blow on a thing, get a 1050 and get an ammo bot. Yeah. And because that thing will crank out some ammo.
No, Joe. Hank, you push one button and you just sit there like
tick. It's all mechanical.
And it costs how much? How much is that?
2,500, 3,000, something like that.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah. Not too bad.
But it's not as much as the other one, because there's that one that is and I don't know who makes it, but it's a straight line and it feeds the cases straight through and it does one step at a time. Yeah. Those things run about $15,000. Yeah. You can get into the Dillon with the ammo bots for I think 3,500.
If I was to pick one single stage though, right now, I'm a big fan of that Redding turret press. So.
Okay. Let me see. Let me ask you guys this question. And I'll start with Patrick. How did you guys get into reloading? So,
I got into guns in 2011 or 2012, and then right afterwards, Sandy Hook happened, and every bit of ammo dried up. Like I remember back when Sandy Hook happened, I would drive around go Walmart to Walmart on a Saturday morning just to try to grab ammo so I could have some fun. And I wasn't even hoarding. I was just trying to buy a box of 100 rounds of 9mm so I could go shoot a little bit. So I got really tired of that, and I got into the reloading section of Reddit, and it kind of tickles that part of the brain for me that is it's just the perfect combination of things, fixing things, making things, building stuff. And then you get an end result that you can literally shoot. Like, it's just the perfect combo. So part of it was to actually have some ammo so I could shoot, and then part of it was it's that perfect, like, it tickles that perfect building part of my brain.
Okay, very cool. What about you, Elfster?
So I've kind of got my start. A lot of my friends on Sniper's Hide. I had a group on there, a forum posting called the 6x5 group, where guys would shoot at one target, 6 total groups at 5 shots each. We would measure the size of each group, add up those total 6 groups, and divide it by 6, and that was your average score. And it was kind of like drag racing for precision firearms. And I was watching other guys that were reloading just destroying me in regards to accuracy, and you really can't compare the two when it comes to accuracy, reloading versus factory. It's not going to happen. So that's kind of where I got my start. Was
okay. So when you were watching them, you realized that they were getting better results because they reloaded?
Oh, by far, especially when they start going to load development and you're playing with barrel harmonics. Things like barrel harmonics, when you're playing with low development, when you shoot your rifle, your barrel actually has a wave to it if you put it under slow motion. And what you're trying to do is you're playing with the barrel harmonics. You're dropping powder at different powder rates, and you're trying to get that bullet to exit the muzzle the second it's pointing straight. And you're also playing with other things like bullet stability when you're dropping different powder drops. And I'll actually guys will do things called OCW, or optimal charge weight tests, or ladder tests. Some guys will look at their chronograph readings and look for flat spots. And not to bore you guys completely to death with low development, but I've seen these guys coming up with these insane results that were just destroying everybody else, and that's kind of how I got into it. And that's also where I got my nickname Elfster. So
okay, very cool. Let me get this question in here. John Voorhees says, what would be your guys' 2 dream full autos to own? Me would be MP40 and MP60. Do you guys have any? I would definitely want an MP5 full auto.
MP5 because it's cheap and fun.
Yeah,
ammo is cheap and fun.
I'm itching for that Palmetto State PA5. I really am.
Yeah.
Like everybody else.
Yeah, and
I would want a belt fed. Beyond that,
okay,
I'd want some sort of belt fed 5.56 gun, because then you can still get ammo, but you can blow the hell out of it and have fun.
I mean, if it's pie in the sky, definitely minigun. But practicality,
Dylan,
practicality.
Yeah,
Listen,
there's no reloading for that.
Yeah, you know what? I'm trying to think what else is badass as a machine gun. I mean, you can't beat a full auto AR-15, to be honest with you.
No,
that's always fun. You can always let anyone shoot that. Although I do like the full auto AK. That's also.
Yeah.
And that's relatively cheap. We've had lots of fun with the AK. But dream a Gatling gun for sure.
You can own that.
Yeah.
Well, if you got the money.
Yeah.
Anything.
And you got to find some 4570 to throw through it. So.
Yeah. I would like to have a car with with a minigun built into it that I press a button. And
like the 007.
Not a car.
Yeah, that'll be nice. That's a nice traffic clearer.
Oh, you know what? A 7.62 54R belt fed. What are those? The PKMs?
Mm-hmm.
I think I would do a PKM because that ammo is still relatively cheap. Plus, it's a 30 cal. Plus, it's belt fed. I could do a PKM.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. PKM. Okay. Let's see what other questions. Am I missing any questions? I know I'm way behind here.
No, I think it's PKM.
Yeah. Let's see.
That's it. PKM. Mm-hmm.
Have more reloading questions out there, man.
I know.
Yeah, let's see.
How much So somebody was asking what the cost of a good setup would be. I said my basis for mine would be about $1,000 to get everything you need for one caliber for Dylan like Dylan stuff. About $1,000.
Yep, about 1,200. The key about a reloading setup, I always tell people, is never buy a kit. You never want to buy a kit. You always want to part it out. And you never want to do brass prep by hand. Trust me, because your hands, you'll have arthritis if you're not mechanically. For example, I have this trimmer here. If you're doing that stuff by hand, you're going to regret it. And don't buy a kit where you are doing it by hand. And other things like powder drops. Like I got 2 Charge Masters here for dropping powder. You know, I highly suggest getting the Lyman Case Prep Center for doing case prep, for deburring and chamfering, and for the neck. What else? I'm a big fan of the World's Finest trimmers. Gerald has that Triway now, so that kind of trumps this now.
Wait, what? He has a new one out?
Yeah, so he has something similar to the World's Finest trimmer. It's called the Triway. And not only does it trim, but it also chamfers and deburs all in once, hence the name Triway. And usually you can get that for about $80, $90 per cartridge. And that one Triway will do a family of cartridges too. So for example, you get like a 308 trimmer, it will do 243, 6.5 Creedmoor. But you probably want to stick with one trimmer per cartridge, so you're not constantly fooling around with the settings. You want to set it and forget it. So
I don't know if his prices went up or if I actually paid this much for his trimmer.
Yeah, you got the bench trimmer.
Yeah,
right?
the power trimmer. I love it, but I don't remember paying that much.
Is primo. That is the best. But
shit, I paid a lot of money for that thing.
Yeah, you're looking at about $1,000 to $1,200 for a decent setup.
Yeah, for a good setup, and that's gonna get you, I would say, one caliber. So like buy 9mm or buy 223, and go with one caliber, and then you can expand from there to whatever.
And you're not talking about components: brass, primer, bullets.
Yeah, so that'll get you the setup you need. And so what do you do for like? Do you even reload pistol any longer?
I do. I have my let me grab it here.
So like for me, my cheap go-to bullets, I use the Extreme Plated. I'm still really happy with those.
So I do have my powder drop.
Yeah, I was just using mine. I love those. They're so
and
good.
Then with the Hornady lock and load, it comes with bushings. And so once you have your dies set up properly with the powder cop die, sizing die, expander die, you name it die, you just pop them in, you're done. And that's where the Dylan really shines with those case heads. You just pop it in, you're done. It's kind of the same thing, but I think, in my opinion, Dylan is primo. It's a cream of the crop there. So. Okay.
Dane's Collection says, looking for a new chronograph. Which do you recommend? So
cheap. I'm one of the so I think we come from two different aspects here. I'm a cheap reloader in the sense that I want to spend as little money as possible to get somewhat good results. Or I think Elfster, with your precision stuff, you're gonna want a very
lab radar is the best.
Yeah, you're gonna want a nice one if you're doing really precision stuff.
Yeah.
I have one of the cheap ones you get on Amazon from I can't even think of the name of the company.
Yeah.
It was like $40 or $50 or something. It was not expensive.
Yeah.
And it works for my needs because I don't do high precision. Other than my Mark 262, I really don't do much quote unquote precision work.
Red Bear says general. This is probably answer to the machine gun question. I'm assuming.
Yeah.
Red Bear says General Dynamics Growler LSV with a ring mount kitted up. They see me rolling.
I don't even know.
That's a song.
To go back to that previous question, don't forget about magneto speed. So.
Oh, okay.
That's a good chronograph too. So.
All right. Let me see here. I want to jump in on. So now you guys are talking about reloading and everything. You know what you need for reloading, guys? I want to show you what you need. I'm gonna throw this up. Actually, here. Let me get this. I'm gonna put a link to this so everyone can see what we're talking about. You need a robot. You need a robot. That's what you need for reloading.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Talk about this?
Yeah. Here we go. This is what you need. Check this out.
There's the Terminator.
Yeah, the Terminator that could do like acrobatics now.
Yeah, Boston Dynamics robot is no joke now.
Put a gun in that thing.
I think you're backwards, Hank. I think you need reloading for the upcoming robot apocalypse.
Yeah. Look at this other one, like the Spot. They're releasing Spot, man. I think they sent Spot out into the world.
Is that a custom build 22, or is it from a?
So this would be the Ruger Mark IV.
Yeah.
This is the tactical. It's got the tandem cross compensator with the tandem cross hive grips and the charging loop with the Nikon tactical spur red dot. This thing is an absolute laser. This will print groups at 100 yards, no joke, at 2 inches.
Do you guys have cans up there? You guys allowed suppressors?
Yeah, I've thrown a can. I threw a silencer coal can on this, and I'm not exaggerating when I say this. The action is louder than the can.
Oh yeah, they're wonderful. Those guns are so great with a can on them.
It is insane. I actually have a video on that too. So.
Yeah, can't you get stuff to quiet the action down?
Yeah. Your 22 pistol action is way too loud for me.
The one thing I was going to warn people about when it comes to reloading, like any other industry, there are lots and lots and lots of products on the market that are solutions looking for problems. Don't buy anything. So get your setup. If you're looking to reload, get your setup, get your dies, get what you need to start with. Don't buy extras until you find a need for it. Until you go through and you're like, you know what? This one thing could make my life easier, then buy it. Don't go looking for solutions for problems that don't exist, because there are a shitload of those on the reloading market.
Yeah. Now, unlike you guys that are geeking out on the reloading stuff, some of the people want us to go back to the robots. Here for a second. Okay, I'm going to go back to the robots for a second. I shared the link with everyone if you want to see this. But, so did you guys see this Spot launch thing? Basically, this is like the robot dog. I'm playing the video right now for whoever's looking at it. This thing will be coming for you very shortly.
What's it do?
It's you got to look at that video. That link that I threw up there. If you scroll down to the bottom, you can see what this robot. It's like a dog without a head, and it could just walk all over all kinds of junk, up and down steps, and all of that. You know, there's a head version that has like flashlights and.
It's straight up doing parkour, damn near. I mean, it's scary.
Yeah, these things are. Yeah, man. We're gonna, you know, this is what you need to get geared up for. There's a neck. There's like a neck, arm, all kinds of stuff coming out on those things. Those Boston Dynamics.
Do you ever watch that Black Mirror series?
From time to
Marley
time.
watched it.
Yeah, I haven't seen all of them.
That one series where it's got like that Terminator dog robot.
Mm-hmm.
Have you seen
I didn't see that. No, I didn't see that one. It was good.
Yeah, I mean, it gives you that whole Black Mirror series. It kind of gives you a awakening of what our technology could eventually come and how dangerous it could be. And there's I can't remember what it's called. I don't know. Maybe someone that's listening could put it in the chats. But there's this Terminator type dog, and it's got guns mounted to it, and it's not far off from
yeah. Oh, for sure. I mean, Boston Dynamics, isn't that funded by the Army or something like that? One of the research grants? Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So you know damn well what they're up to.
For that day when you become an insurgent.
They say that dog is supposed to be a weight-bearing device for soldiers. It's supposed to carry their kit for them.
Yeah, their machine gun kit.
But what the hell is that human doing? The human one.
Yeah.
Doing backflips and shit. Like, oh man.
You know what scares me more than all that is AI. You know, I listen to Joe Rogan a lot, and he has a lot of guys on there, and they talk about AI. And, you know, and guys like Elon Musk, they're developing the cerebral attachment.
Joe Rogan thinks we're in the Matrix right now. This is the Matrix.
He does.
Yes. Yeah. Let's not forget this. You know, he gets on the DMT so that he could come out of the Matrix every now and then. You know, yeah, John Crump says DARPA and Google. That's who's funding those things. DARPA and Google. Yeah, they're mapping everything so that the robots know exactly how to come get you. You know, yeah, man. It's so you're more worried about AI, huh?
Yeah,
absolutely. I'm in agreement there.
And I think a lot of that has to do with 5G too, like this whole 5G network, and it's all interconnected. I really think that's something to be worried about, especially when it has the potential to replace our workforce.
Yeah.
That's something really to be scared.
Yeah.
Scared
John
about.
Crumpy says that AI is terrifying. But listen, it's already here. The AI is already working on you.
Yeah.
You don't even know it. You know?
Yeah.
Google right now is making you like, I've noticed I search for certain things and Google's like, no.
Oh,
not letting you,
they
not
already
letting
know
you
what you're
search for that.
searching
Yeah.
before you even ask for it. It already shows up in your search box.
Yeah.
Like you just talk about it and you got Alexa listen in the background. Next thing you know, you turn on your computer, it's already there waiting for you.
Yeah. Now, no lie, I'm going to tell you guys this. I would like to get some of those robot dogs for my property. Because my personal dog, he's not defending anything.
Oh, you know, hey, could have that thing pimped out with freaking, I don't know, MP5s or what.
Yeah, I want to have a bunch of those walking around.
Probably have a flamethrower on it.
Yeah.
Probably Elon Musk flamethrower.
Yeah. Let's see. Okay. You know what? Let's. We're over 9 o'clock here. We probably need to start wrapping this up. Let's see, Babyface. How about you, man? I will go to you first. Tell the people out there how if they want to know more about reloading that we've talked about, or any of the other stuff from Babyface P.
Baby underscore face P. Baby underscore face P on Instagram. I think my Instagrams get big enough where you could probably just search for Babyface P and it'll come up. It seems that most people contact me on there, which is fine. You guys can, if you want to hit me up with questions on there, I can try to answer them. Otherwise, babyfaceP.com will take you to my Facebook. You can message me there, or youtube.com/babyfaceP. I just put up some videos, and I finished loading the 32 ACP, so we're going to go fire them and see if I can't blow myself up. And then I'll come back with some answers as to which mold I would suggest for everybody. So there you go.
Now that you're a YouTube mogul.
That's right.
You know, dropping those videos. Okay, what about you, Elfster? How can the folks reach out to you?
Best way to check out, especially if you want to learn about reloading, is obviously check out my YouTube channel, Elfster's Rifles and Reloading. All of my knowledge is dumped in those playlists. I actually have one playlist in there called the Ultimate Reloading playlist, and it is, no joke, all of my knowledge dumped into that. I don't know how many parts it is, but it literally covers everything that I know, and I got tips and tricks in there, start to finish, showing that actual ammunition shot on paper to prove that accuracy. But if you need to get a hold of me, the best way would be to check out Elfster's Rifles and Reloading on Facebook and send me a message that way. So.
Okay, and if anybody out there is looking to get into reloading and has questions, ask people that are in reloading. Most reloaders love sharing the information, and it's one of those things. It's like working on cars. You're going to have tips and tricks that you pick up from doing it that you would love to share with everybody else. So.
You don't have to twist my arm to talk about reloading.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Motorboater says AI will be the last invention by man. So there you go.
The problem with AI, but when that AI kicks in, it's exponentially going to take off.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the scary part.
Yeah, and Safety Harbor Firearms says mini bikes for everyone. So I just want to remind everyone, we're doing the show tomorrow. We're taking Friday off because I'm actually headed out to Safety Harbor Firearms. I'll be out there hanging out with Walter, getting some work done for everyone who thinks I'm just taking a long 3-day weekend. But I might accidentally stop by the Ferrari dealership over at Safety Harbor Firearms. Don't worry about it. Not getting a Ferrari anytime soon, unless Babyface.
Their passion is cars, right?
Yeah, when Babyface actually grows up, that's what he's getting me as a gift.
Oh, yeah, good luck there.
Yeah. Anyway, so tomorrow's our last show for the week. Make sure you check out Elfster's Rifles and Reloading. Of course, check out Babyface P. Thanks to Harry's Holsters for sponsoring the show. Shout out to everyone out there. Let me drop the end. Boom. There we go. Don't forget to subscribe, thumbs up, ring the bell so you can be notified every time we go live. We'll be back tomorrow. Thanks to my guests for coming out. Thanks for everyone for being here. Any final words, people? Anyone got final words? Okay.
Freedom isn't free, baby.
There you go. We're out.